What it do, everybody? It's Baby Roo, and today we finna go home. And by home, I mean we're going back to Denver. So we're about to head to the airport right now. Bro, you stupid son of a bitch. This stupid cat, bro. I swear to God. Yeah, we're about to go home. I don't know what content I'm gonna film out there. It's really just gonna be playing it by ear, but I'm gonna try to film some content, get a nice little video made. I know I'm gonna interview my pops at some point, just about his car and all that. But I'm excited to go back home. I'm excited to relax a little bit, and I'm excited to take you on the journey with me. What's good? So we just landed in Denver. I can't show y'all any of the trippy shit here. I'll probably try to do it on my way back. But yeah, we finally home. I'm feeling good. It's kind of hard to breathe already, but you know, we vibing. What it do, everybody? It's Baby Roo, and welcome back to the Repentance YouTube channel. Today we got Booker, and we're gonna interview him about his beautiful rides. So which one do you want to start off with?
We can start with anyone you want. Carmen Gia.
Yeah, let's start off with the gears. This is right here.
Yep, that's a 1971 Volkswagen Carmen Gia. Root mirror with an orange pearl. All leather interior, rust interior on it. 2300 motor in it. Candied out. Air ride suspension. Full cowl stereo system in it. Slot and drill rollers. Hard line all the way around. Not nothing missed, no detail missed on that.
No detail left untouched. What made you want to go ahead and build this car?
Well, that one is, that's my third Volkswagen I built. I got a 66 and a 69. And we got a code that Carmen Gia, and I always wanted to do something that I knew I could try to make and make a magazine off of. So that actually made both, I bought the Hot DW magazine 2 years ago. And that's one of my proud accomplishments because there's not a lot of minorities that make that magazine cover. So that's what made us do that one, and it has about 50 miles on it. We don't drive it very often. It's actually, I made that one for my wife. It has her name on a stick shift, Christy, on it. So that's, I did that one for her.
And is that the car's name, Christy?
The name of the car, believe it or not, is Chocolate Feverish.
Chocolate Feverish.
Chocolate Feverish.
I like it. Yeah. And then, do you have any other plans to go ahead and?
I don't know. That car is pretty much finished, unless somebody out there wants to trade me for his 1962 Chevy Impala SS. I'll go all day, but that car is pretty much finished. It's just ready to go. It's ready to go. It's a beautiful car, beautiful color in the sun. It pops. It's ready to go.
Yeah, I don't even know if the camera is gonna fully pick up how deep the color is, because it's a beautiful color in person.
Yes, it is. It's very nice in person. Like I said, I think that car, and all the cars I designed, it's probably about 95%. What I mean by 95%, maybe only 5% flaws in that car. And that's it.
And then, so how do you said 95%, how do you scale the quality of your builds? Is it just all your own personal interpretation of it?
Well, it is. So I used to judge a lot of cars, do car shows, and kind of look at the paint spreads as far as what the perfection is in the paint, as far as how does the interior look, the stitching on the seats, and I can find my own eyes. I don't think anybody looking at the car will see that 5%, but with my own eyes, I can say, oh, this could be a little bit better. But when you're making these cars and you're designing these cars and building these cars, you can't get a 100% perfect car. I don't care what anybody says. There's always something that the owner can see, maybe nobody else can see. But I can see things that I say, oh, that 5%, but the doubt of that 5%, I don't think it ever happen.
And then, so say when you go to start off the build, do you already have the vision in mind, or?
Absolutely, yeah. So every one of my cars I do, I always have the color. You got the color of the interior I want. I got the color if it's convertible top. I got kind of like the engine, and then I kind of get with builders and let them put their own vision to it. So if I go to a builder, I say, this is what I want to do. They might come back and say, Booker, that doesn't look good. Maybe we add a little bit of this, because this car actually has a orange pearl in it, so we have to play with it a little bit just to make it pop the way we want it to pop. But So I let the builders I deal with, I talk to them and pick their brain and see what kind of idea they could bring to the car too. Along with me, like the engine's all candy, it's all turnkey. Well, that was one of the builder's designs. He said, let's make it turnkey with candy. Well, it turned out pretty good. So I also let people trust them to do some things too.
Yeah, trust the artists too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yes.
put in their art. And then you got this one behind us too.
Yes.
And what's the story with this car?
Well, this is a 1964 Chevy Impala. I've been having this car for almost about 15 years, about 12 years now. And I always wanted an Impala. I built a lot of Volkswagens. And I always wanted to do a lowrider car that were true lowrider cars dedicated to the lowrider gang. So this is 1964 Chevy Impala, candy purple. Everything you kind of see in it, like I once again, is all my color scheme that I want to go with. Fully engraved out cars, pretty much crazy. We won the sweepstake here in Colorado with it. Took second place in Vegas last year in November. So, and we're still building, we're still working on it right now. So, this kind of car, it kind of tells my background too. It's a story behind this car because, you know, it tells my life story. The name of the car is called Climax. A lot of people, they think that's a sexual, it's not a sexual climax.
Like,
I believe everybody reaches their peak.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, you reach your peak. And this car tells my side of the story where years ago I grew up in gangs. And I gang for years, and then I finally turned my life over to the Lord. And so it tells how the Lord delivered me. And then on the other side of the car, it tells what the Lord gave me, my beautiful family, and my friends, my granddaughter. So that's what this car is about. It just tells a story. And all through the whole car, from the frame all the way to the trunk, boot kit, there's something about it. Like praying hands. We got the Bible that's open. We got my sons on it. So it just tells pretty much my life story.
And then speaking of the praying hands and the sons on the frame, I was actually there when that was all getting airbrushed, and that inspired me to like start practicing airbrushing. And this car did inspire me like a decent amount to go ahead and practice my own art and try to go ahead and tell my own story through my own build. And I like how you did that, the left to right, because you have your family on the right hand side of the wheel. Right. Do you have a particular favorite part of the car, or is it?
Oh man, to say? There's so much going on with this car. I think my favorite part may be the console, because the console, you really got to look at that console. It's a custom-made console, and it's actually the deer-shaped head of the Impala. And so that console, people look at it like they don't catch it right away. Then I tell them, look at the console again, and you can tell it's a deer-shaped head of an Impala. And once again, I let one of my guys do his own vision on that car. When he did that console, I was like, I don't know if I want that in there, because a lot of times when people build lowrider, they want to stick to the tradition of lowrider. And I am kind of like out of box person. Okay, tradition's fine, old school's fine, it's great. Okay, but what can I do to amp it up a little bit? What can I do to add a different flavor that nobody else is doing? And the console, it sets it off. And a lot of other things that sets it up is all push button. As far as all push button.
Yeah, that had me tripping out too. I was like, wait, what's the
yeah, all push button. There's no stick shift in this car. It's push button transmission, push button windows, push button start on the car, push button sunroof. What was kind of crazy when we built this car as a sunroof, we actually had to cut a roof off of another car and graft it on this car, because we got 44 cents in sunroof on this car. And so that right there, I mean, my favorite part of the car is just so many little different things, like the oil filters on the hydraulic setup. Those are from a World War II plane. And so those were hard to get. They still have the serial numbers on them. So there's little bit tabs and pieces here and there, but door handles not up. What more can I say about the car?
And then, where did you end up getting those World War II tanks? Well, you said that's difficult to find. Right.
So I've seen those on a lot of other cars. So one of my good friends from Click Car Club actually contacted the president in California, because he had this set up in there, because to find out that he had a lot of them for sale. And so each one of them, we would find them online, each one for $600 here and there, which is pretty expensive. Well, he knew what I was building, gave me a great deal on them, and There you go.
Speaking of car clubs, are you a member of a car club?
Yes, I am. I am familiar. I'm a member of a citywide car club. I'm the president. I actually passed down from one of my good friends. He kind of bailed out on me, but don't say nothing.
We don't talk about that guy.
Yeah, we're talking about that guy. He bailed out on me and just left me with this. No, we got a great car club. One of my members is here today. But we're part of citywide. We're nationwide. From California, Colorado Springs. We have a chapter in LA. Great family car club. So I am part of a car club, but I don't really call it a car club. I call it a brotherhood. We're all getting along, but we have so many different car clubs that we're friends with. So that's why I call it a brotherhood. So.
And then, like, as a car club, as a brotherhood, like, what is it that you guys stand for?
Oh, family for one. Family, commitment, honesty, trust. Just very, very good people, because you can find people in different car clubs. What makes us unique is, I believe, our brotherhood. We have our differences, we have our problems, but at the end of the day, we can come together and still be a family, travel together, and just have fun together, and joke and tease each other, and not take anything personal to heart. So, and each one of our car club members are really dedicated to their car. They care about the car. They care about how it looks. They care about the appearance. And so when we all together, we all shine together. Not one person shines, but we all shine together.
That's good. And then, is there anything in particular, like, planned for this car that, like, any shows you want to bring it to, or?
Yeah, we're gonna tour. This might be our last year, maybe touring as far as Vegas. We're adding some upgrades right now in the car. So we're going to take it to the next level. Last year we took second place in Vegas. This year we're going to go back and try to maybe see if we could up those antes and go in first place. But this will be our last year in Vegas. So most of all, after Vegas, we're going to just tour a little small car shows here and there, because it's not about really the cars. It's about the testimony. It's about the word, the message that I'm trying to get across to people, that you can change your life.
Yeah.
You can go from one end to the other end, but everybody's got a climax at one point in time in life. And that's what the message of this car is all about.
So, do you street drive this car at all, or?
Just around the block. Just around the block and come back in. But it does start up, it drives. It's going to be in the streets. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the street, but I'm not going to, as far as none of my cars I really drive. We have some other driver cars that we drive all the time on the street, but this particular one won't always be on the street, but it'll be at a show near you somewhere, maybe.
Just waiting for it.
Yeah.
It's a work. Or I'd be scared to drive this on the street.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then another thing is, bringing it back to when I saw the frame getting airbrushed. What's crazy is, that was the second time you had done the frame.
Yes.
So why did you end up redoing the frame?
Well, the problem is, when you build these cars, we call it a loss. A lot of times people take a loss. Either you have bad work done, or you have the wrong work done. And we've had each one of our cars I built, I almost name a story of how we took a loss. As far as bad quality, bad our shops that didn't finish the work, we got to pull it. And this particular frame, this car is actually second frame, because the first frame, the guy twisted it when he heated it up. So we found that was twisted, so we had to go scrap that one and get another frame. But you live and learn when you build these cars. You live and learn who you got to get the work. If you can do the work yourself, you can guarantee that you're going to have maybe that 100% car I'm talking about, because it's your flavor on it. But when you're depending on shops to do things, you got to make sure you go to the right shop. But when you go to the right shop, that takes going to the wrong shop to get to the right shop.
And I guess that's kind of anything with life, with just you gotta take those L's and just bounce back.
Take those L's and bounce back. That's what it is, Yeah.
The exterior too. I feel like that should be brought up. What made you? Because obviously, like, that center console going down the middle, is it factory? So maybe you want to go with that instead of just keep it like a factory exterior.
Right. Yeah, it's always been with a middle console because it's an SS car, but like I said, I go back. I just wanted to do something different. I want to do something that nobody's never done before. And I'm always thinking of what has somebody never done before on a car. And then I try to talk to people that I know that build. Can we make this happen? And a lot of times, you know, even with building this car, I think a lot of people reach their limit. Because, you know, you keep building a car and you get so frustrated. But this one actually took a lot of people to their limit. It took a lot of people, even to the limit in our household. You know, my wife, because, you know, during COVID, one of some of my good friends, Fabian, and some of my good friends, Brian, we all came down here, Caesar, we came down here and we put timing on this car. So anytime you take time on this car, you take it away from something else, especially from a family man. So now my family's thing, you know, I spend time, my wife trying to spend time on my car, and that builds the stress. So like I said, I think this car takes a lot of people to their limit because of what we want to do. But at the same time, people who are working on it still want have that expectation, they have that zeal that they want this car out there and see what it's going to do. And then once we put it out there and we laid it out there, I want everybody to feel that when they work on this car, they have something to be proud about. Like, this is doing this, you know. And it's a great, great car. There's good cars in Colorado. There's great cars in Colorado. But I have to say that we actually, and I say we because there's a lot of people's hands put on this car. We've done a really good job with this car, and we're proud of what it's going to do. We're proud of what it's done, but we still have plans for it.
It's a never-ending process.
It's a never-ending process. No.
And then, segueing back to like what you said earlier, you know, being in the gangs and everything. What do you do like now? Because through like this YouTube and everything, and that's another thing I'm trying to go ahead and do is, because you know this is a culture that I grew up appreciating, looking at. So you know, I want to go ahead and try my best to go ahead and remove almost that negative stigma with lowriding.
Right.
So like, what do you do now further?
So right now, what I do, I own minister, I'm a full-time minister. I work with a lot of youth at our church. I also work with me and my wife. Call her a minister too. We work with a lot of couples. We counsel a lot of couples. We marry a lot of couples. But our heart is outreach. Because, like I said, I came from the streets. I grew up in gangs. I was a gang member for over 15 plus 20 years here in Colorado. And I believe that everybody there's a shiny star in everybody. I call it the 90-10. We all have a 90-10 about us. 10% about you that's terrible, 10% about me is terrible. But then we got a 90% about me is great. Everyone has that. We have to always find our 90. What is our 90? We're always going to have that. I still have good friends, best friends still in business that still are doing what they do. But at the same time, I still see good in them. I don't look for always to have something bad, a negativity person for doing. Because if we look around, everybody has something negative that we can look at that they're doing. And so I don't look at that. So what I like to do with the youth is always show them that they have a 90%. Tell them that they're good at doing this. Build people up instead of tear them down in life. And so that's what I'm all about. And that's what I do in my ministry. I'm a full-time husband, I call. You know, I got great grandkids. I just had a grandson, and I got 4 great sons. They're great kids, and that's all it is. And that's my life. My life is either ministry, family, or cars.
And talk about like that 90-10, that's something I believe in too. Like it's called the Duality of Man. I believe that there's, you know, that light and dark and everyone has that angel and that devil. And you're like, then I think it's just finding the balance between the two. I think you can't completely get rid of that 10%.
No.
But accepting it for what it is and you know, still choosing to make the right decisions.
Right. You got to manage that 10%. You have to manage it because, you know, that's why we have a lot of people that when they don't manage it, we see the consequences of that. We see the consequences of jail or death. There's only 2 sides that are in jail or death, especially when you're gay bangers, jail or death. And if you don't manage that 10% and manage it every day, no matter if you're in gangs, no matter where you're at, if you're in your 90, if you don't manage that 10%, you can slip back to that 10% very easily. And that's a daily walk. Sometimes I call it a minute walk. And that's what, you know, me, especially finding Jesus and letting him lead me, like her life helps me out with that 10%. Helps me calm. They say they calm the beast in you, you know? Everybody has a beast in them. And so that's what that helps me do.
Helps you calm that beast.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to go ahead and add?
No. Unless you want to get one of these guys in there, these OGs.
I know.
I know. Let's get one of these OGs in there. Let's get Brian in here. Mr. Brian. This guy's been, you got to talk to this guy. This guy's been low riding since diapers were made. Mr. Brian, I'll call your last name if you don't come. Come on, just say a word or two. Say a word, sit in the hot seat. Maybe you're good.
Alright, so we got Brian here now. So, let's start off with what car do you have?
I have a 1962 Super Sport Impala, dedicated to my mom and dad that passed away. My mom passed away from liver cancer in 2013. My dad just passed away from COVID in 2020. So the car's called My Angel for my parents.
And then, what made you want to go ahead and build this car specifically?
I've always liked the 1962s just because they're smaller framed Impala, not as big as the 64, 63. After that, 62 is small like the 61s. But I like it just because I like the idea of the way it sits when it's on the ground and with the strips on it, just make it look a lot nicer. And I like that Super Sports.
Have you always been into lowriders, or like what got you into lowriding specifically?
I've been into lowriders since late 80s. Growing up and stuff like that, I had a lowrider Schwinn, lowrider bike. Always been into that stuff, and then after that, in the early 90s, I had an Impala. Oh my God, I had a Ford Mustang in 1994, slammed on the ground with roadsters and white walls, and since then, I've always had lowriders been in my blood. And now I had a 58 Impala, then I had a 64 convertible, then a 65 SS, and now I have a 62 SS.
The whole nine. And then, what's your favorite part about lowriding?
Just getting an old car, just being with everybody, especially my car club, citywide chapter from Denver. Then we have the citywide chapter in Colorado Springs too. Just being a part of that, especially like today, putting parts on my car, new chrome pieces, getting ready for the Lowrider show in July, the 23rd, here in Colorado Springs. So I'm getting ready for that. So, and seeing everybody pull together and work on my car, and just the family.
Just the family dynamic of the whole thing?
Exactly, with the brotherhood.
Most definitely. Is there like a particular end goal that you want to accomplish with this car?
Nope, there's not no goal. The thing is just driving. I've always wanted a lowrider, like back in the day when I see these guys cruising when I was a young kid. That's why I said I always wanted. So I'm happy with my little street car. To me, it's a street car, but everybody says it's nicer than me. But it's my pride and joy.
It's like almost like an extension of yourself.
Exactly. No, it's totally myself. Everybody says that too. Just because you can tell my kind of lifestyle. Like I like to live nice and clean, just classy.
Yeah, and the car is amazing. It's like you said, clean and classy. Like it's like. What's good, y'all? We're back in Seattle. So, I was filming that last part of the interview. My camera died, so there was probably about 4 or 5 minutes that we kept talking after the camera shut off, and basically we just spoke about a little bit more about his car, about how clean it was, about making it what he wants, but still being a little bit more understated. Also, about his work that he does in the community. Like for example, every Mother's Day he'll take out a random mother and treat her right. So I'd like to say thank you to Brian and Booker for taking the time to do those interviews with me. And if you liked the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe down below, comment and subscribe down below. Let me know what else y'all want to see. We're probably gonna get back into the Lincoln content, building my car again, finishing up the interior, and then after that I'm probably gonna change up the content a little bit. But let me know what y'all want to see. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.